Demonstration speech where I play guitar. These are my 3 audience members right here. Alright, so let's start our speech. So 90% of all beginner guitarists quit after their first year of playing the guitar. I'm not going to let that happen to you because I'm going to teach you the right way to play guitar, okay? So the reason I'm qualified to talk about this is because I've been playing for 2 years and I know my way around the instrument. So what we're going to go over today is the guitar anatomy. We're going to go over the basic musical scale, and we're also going to go over the right way to play the guitar. So starting off with what you need. You're going to need the guitar, you're going to need yourself, you're going to need a nice place to sit down, and you're also going to need all 10 of your fingers and a guitar pick. So after we have everything that we need, we're going to move on to learning some terminology. Our left hand, or your non-dominant hand, is going to be your fretting hand. That's a new term. I'll explain that later. And then our right hand is also going to be our picking hand, or our strumming hand, as it is also called. Again, those are new terms. I'll explain them later while we're discussing guitar anatomy. So moving on to that, we have our headstock of the guitar, which is right here. This section hosts our tuning pegs of the guitar. That's where our strings go when we restring the guitar. So we have, moving on down, we have our nut. This holds the strings in place at the top of the guitar. This is important because it keeps our strings in place while we're playing or while we're strumming the instrument. Moving down, we have the neck of the guitar and the fretboard, which is on the neck. We also have the frets of the guitar, but that's important when we go moving on to playing. But right now, let's talk a little bit more about the anatomy with our body of the guitar. The body of the guitar is very important in an acoustic guitar, as it's how we get our sound of the instrument to play. And then we have our pick guard, which protects our guitar when we're strumming the guitar from our pick. So we don't want to scratch the wood of our guitar because that would be really bad. And then we have our bridge, finally. So our bridge is where our saddle is located. The saddle is basically the same thing as the nut of the guitar. It holds the string in place. Okay. So that's the basic guitar anatomy. Let's talk more about the frets and and how to actually play the guitar. So to talk about that, we need to learn all 6 of our strings, and we need to know the names of them and why they're named that. So they're named after the musical scale. The musical scale is the letters A through G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Simple enough. So we have E, A, D, G, B, and E. 2 of those are the same. We have low E and high E. Low and high because of their pitch. So low E sounds lower, high E sounds higher. Simple enough. So the musical scale has 12 notes in it, but I only named 7 letters. The reason for this is in between certain letters there are things called sharps and flats. A sharp or a flat is synonymous depending on what we have. So let me explain this. If we have A and we want to get to B, which is on the 2nd fret, we have the 1st fret right here. That is called A sharp or B flat. Same note, 2 different names mean the same thing. So we have B, A sharp or B flat, and then A. The 2 exceptions to this rule are E and F, and then C, and then B to C. Those are the only 2 exceptions. So now that we have all the string names covered and we know what all the frets do, which is divide into different half steps. So we just go 1 half step for each space in between the frets. Okay, let's move on to learning a basic chord with our knowledge of how to play the guitar now. Your left hand is always going to go underneath your guitar. It's not going to go over top, it goes underneath of your neck. Your strumming arm is basically going to lie somewhere on top of the guitar like this when playing an acoustic. So now we're going to learn how to make a basic G chord, and we're going to learn how to strum it. We're going to start off with our pinky finger of our left hand, and we're going to put it on the 3rd fret of the high E string. We're going to use our ring finger and put it on the 3rd fret of the B. We are going to skip over 2 strings and put our pointing finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. Moving on, we're going to use our middle finger, put it on the 3rd fret E string, of the low E string. So now we have the correct fingering of our guitar, and we're just going to hold it down. If you hold it down too tightly, then it'll be somewhat out of pitch. So it's finding that right space in between pressing it down firmly and not pressing it down too firmly. So now we have our pick, and we're just going to make a strumming motion through the guitar. So there you have it. That's how you play, and that's some basic terminology. I know that was a lot in determining the music scale, but I hope you learned it, and I hope you don't become a statistic if you end up playing the guitar, and that you just play what you enjoy. So have a good day, and thank you for your time.